Hello, welcome to Pop-Up Party, a fun-sharing network where we put together the best aspects of all the successful social media applications and applied it to event management and planning. So let's take a look at Pop-Up Party and what this app is all about and how it works. Alright, so let's talk about the client experience first. Right? When you first get on and download the app, just like a regular app on the App Store, we're going to release it for iOS first and Android second. And what you're going to do next is you're going to register and choose your interests. So the app is free, download it free, and then you get to tell us a little bit about what you like. What type of music do you like specifically? And we're going to get pretty specific because we really want to get some information from the user about what they want to do. So we're going to have all kinds of categories: music, sports, of course, and activities. And we're going to throw as much as we can because we want to get as much data from the user as possible to make their social life a little bit more fun and to give them events that they want to go to. So once you've registered, you're now going to get events you want in the area in which you live. So we know where you live, the area, and we know what you're interested in. Now you can get events that pop up on your screen using push notifications that are specifically tailored to what you are interested in. Now, once you go to this party or event, we have a little segment called the Party Buzz. Now, we're borrowing a little bit from Yik Yak, if anybody's familiar with that, where we have kind of an anonymous social network. So once you've checked in at an event or party, you get to go on and post about it, right? You can post images, you can post some feedback, you can post just random stuff that you want to post. It's just a random anonymous wall, a little bit like Yik Yak or Reddit, if anybody's familiar with that. All right, so now the cool part happens. Now you get to rate it, right? So we're taking a page out of the App Store from Netflix, kind of crowdsourcing. How good was this event? What was wrong with it? What was right with it? What did go well? All that kind of stuff. So everyone kind of gets a little bit of the feedback. Everybody sees that this party was awesome. The next time is one similar to it. You get to know what kind of feedback other people had about it. And you get to kind of just check and see what parties are good and what aren't. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to be able to rate the promoter. We're going to talk about the promoter in a minute, but the promoter is the person that puts on the parties, right? They're the whole reason this app exists. So you get to go to the individual promoter and say, hey, this guy's awesome, this guy's lame, this guy's always trying to just sell you a bunch of junk, or his products are bad. You get to just basically give a rating. So the person gets some feedback about how well they're doing in the community as a promoter, the pop-up party community, and they're also able to rate themselves, or at least update or upgrade their own products or their own events and tailor it to what people want. So this is valuable information for the promoter. All right, and now you get to pop your own profile. So if you got a little profile, we can link it into Facebook, and you can have your own party profile, your own event profile, where which parties you attended, what ratings you gave, a little personal info if you want to have this public. If you don't want to have it public, you can make it a private profile and put nothing on it. It's up to you. And you can link in and connect with other people in the pop-up party community. All right, so now we're going to get to the promoter experience. Now here's where the parties actually happen, right? We have promoters, we have event planners, we have stuff that needs to happen. People want to promote products, people just want to have a good time, people want to promote their band, their DJs, whatever's going on. If you're a musician, you want to promote some venue you're playing at. So you've got to promote your stuff, right? So you talk a little bit about your business, you set up your profile, maybe you're a band, maybe you do sports party events. So now we're going to target the audience, right? So now remember all that information that we gathered from those individuals. What kind of music are you into? What kind of sports do you like? Your general area. Now we get to use that for our promoters. So they get specific targeted information about who's in the community interested in what. Let's just zoom in a little bit here. And, if you live in Cincinnati, you may find that people in different areas are really interested in different things. They're totally into the Bengals in one spot and maybe totally into NASCAR in another, right? So if you're an event planner, you get to see all this data and say, hey, if I'm doing an event that is going to target NFL football, I may want to go over to this area and I may want to talk to these people, okay? And now you get to start posting your events. So I got an event, boom, I'm going to do yoga on the green. I'm going to do it down in Washington Park. And now I get to target it. The only people who are going to see that, right, people who don't have any interest in yoga, people who don't care about this event aren't going to get the spam. And here's the difference between us and the Facebook event manager or event system. You get all kinds of events you don't care about, and then no one pays attention to it. So when you get a whole bunch of spam about events that you don't care about, you start not caring about every event that goes on Facebook. So you're only going to get the events you want, which means the promoters who are going to be paying for this service per event are going to know exactly where their events are going. And they're going to know that their events are going to get to the people who are interested in them, and they're not going to get to people who aren't interested in them, which is not going to cheapen the whole service. And this is where the monetization takes place. The first tier of monetization. Every event posted is going to cost you a certain amount based on our total usership only in the area. So if we're really strong in one area, it's going to cost a little bit more. And we're taking a page out of Uber's book right here. If the demand is high, then the cost is going to be higher. If the demand is low, if our user base is low in a certain area, then you're only going to pay a smaller percentage or a smaller fee for that event to be posted on our network. And we get to vet these people. Unlike Facebook, if you're a bad promoter, right, here's your feedback. You get feedback on your own events, but at a certain point, we get to bump you off and say, hey, you're not creating the quality of social network that we want. You're not creating events that our clients want to go to. They're consistently rating you low. So we get to vet it. So we filter out the events, we filter out the event planners so that you have a good time every time. And that's the whole point, is that we want to eliminate all the junk that goes on in current party planning networks, especially Facebook, where you just get everything from everyone and you start caring about none of it. So you're only going to get what you want. You don't have to go, but when you do go, you get to post about it, you get to tell your friends about it, and you get to rate the party or event, and you also get to rate the promoter so that everyone gets feedback about everything. And now we just go back to the beginning and we do it again. So that's the concept. We're in the initial planning phases, the design of the product. We've got several people lined up to help us out with some of the development. And what we're interested in is getting into an accelerator program, maybe starting a Kickstarter campaign, so that we can push this forward, actually create a viable, usable app, and then start getting individuals to download it from the App Store and start using it. So thanks for your time.